Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This channel is basically about creating and managing wealth in a sustainable manner. So go ahead and subscribe so that you can get notified when I upload new videos. In today's video, I am going to explain the difference between wealth and income. And in order to understand this, I'm going to make use of an illustration. So we have two individuals here. We have John and we have Paul. So John makes $100 every single day and he spends all of his $100 every single day. Paul, on the other hand, also makes $100 every single day. However, he saves $20 out of his $100 income. He saves $20 every single day and invests that $20 into stock market. Now, John here, he wakes up one morning and says to himself, "You know what? I really need to start saving money because I am getting old now and I need to prepare for my retirement." So he starts saving $40 a month. But Paul, who had been investing $20 a day since his early age, he has grown that $20 into hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars. And upon reaching his retirement age, he decided to quit working and live off of his investments. He lives comfortably, enjoys life, travels the world, and does whatever he wants. John, on the other hand, after saving $40 a month for years, he retires with just enough money that can cover him for 3 to 4 months of living expenses. Now, John here, he works hard every single day, works tirelessly to earn his $100 a day, but yet he finds himself struggling to pay his bills, buying groceries, paying rent, and eventually even saving some money. On the other hand, Paul, who was making the same amount as John, that is $100 a day. He saved a portion of his income and invested it wisely. And now, even though he doesn't work, he is still able to generate more than enough income to sustain his lifestyle. What we see from this illustration is that John here, he had a good income, but he never built any wealth. Whereas Paul, even though he started off with the same amount of income, but because he invested his savings, he built wealth. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Why did John struggle all throughout his life? Because he didn't have wealth. Even though he worked hard and earned a decent income, he didn't build any wealth. Why did Paul retire comfortably, even though he made the same amount as John? Because Paul built wealth. The truth is, if we only focus on earning an income, we are likely to face financial struggles in our future. If we only focus on building wealth, we may miss out on some income opportunities. But if we focus on both income and wealth building, we can position ourselves to thrive financially in the long run. So let's define these terms first. So income, simply put, is the amount of money we receive from our job or business. It's the amount of money we make over a period of time. Let's say you work 8 hours every single day. So your time is 8 hours. You spend 8 hours in exchange for your employer 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. Your income is the amount of money you receive from that 8 hours of work multiplied by 7 days in a week, multiplied by 52 weeks in a year. Wealth, on the other hand, is the value of assets that we own. Assets are things like stocks, bonds, real estate, and cash. So for example, if you buy a stock for $100, that stock goes up in value. Let's say now it's worth $120. That $20 increase in value is your wealth. Wealth is basically the value of those assets that you own. When we talk about net worth, we deduct our liabilities from our assets. So assets minus liabilities equals net worth. Liabilities are debts that we owe. So for example, if you take a loan to buy a car and you still owe some money on that car, that is your liability. Or if you take a mortgage to buy a house and you still owe some money on that house, that is your liability. When you calculate your net worth, you subtract your liabilities from your assets. So why is it important to focus on building wealth? Because focusing on building wealth provides us with a sense of financial security. We can plan for unexpected expenses. We can plan for emergencies. We can plan for retirement. We can plan for our children's education. Building wealth helps us to achieve financial freedom, okay? And financial freedom allows us to do whatever we want, whenever we want. Financial freedom gives us the opportunity to say no to a job that we don't want to go to. It gives us the opportunity to say yes to an opportunity that comes our way, even if it means that we have to take some time away from work. Focusing on building wealth also reduces our stress levels. And that's because when we are focused on building wealth, we are able to prepare for the unexpected. We are able to save for retirement. We are able to save for our children's education. And that, in turn, reduces our stress levels. Focusing on building wealth also allows us to leave a legacy for the next generation. We can leave money for our children. We can leave money for our grandchildren. We can set up trusts for them. And by doing that, we are able to reduce their financial burden. So how do we actually build wealth? Well, firstly, we need to start by setting financial goals. So before we can even think about building wealth, we need to first identify where we want to be financially. Secondly, we need to start tracking our spending. We need to know what we are spending our money on. Once we know what we are spending our money on, we can then identify areas where we can cut back so that we can save more money. Thirdly, we need to start investing. Investing is key to building wealth. You need to invest your savings. And when you invest your money, you can use that money to generate even more money. Fourthly, we need to start diversifying our investments. Diversification is key to reducing risk. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. If you invest in stocks, make sure you spread out your investments across different sectors. If you invest in real estate, make sure you spread out your investments across different locations. Finally, we need to continuously educate ourselves. Educate ourselves about personal finance. Educate ourselves about investing. Educate ourselves about entrepreneurship. There is so much information out there that can help you to become wealthy. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Also, press that bell notification button so that you can get notified when I upload new videos. So now, let's discuss the benefits of having wealth. Having wealth provides us with financial stability. It allows us to withstand financial shocks. For example, if you lose your job, if your business fails, if there is a medical emergency, if you have wealth, you are able to withstand those financial shocks without going into debt. Having wealth also allows us to achieve financial freedom. It allows us to do whatever we want, whenever we want. For example, if you have wealth, you can choose to quit your job and start a business. You can choose to take time away from work to travel the world. Having wealth also allows us to pass down a legacy to the next generation. We can leave money for our children. We can leave money for our grandchildren. We can set up trusts for them. By doing that, we are able to reduce their financial burden. The first step to achieving financial freedom is by increasing your income. Increasing your income allows you to save more money. More money allows you to invest more money. More money allows you to build wealth. So there are 3 ways you can increase your income. You can work harder, you can work smarter, or you can work more. When you work harder, you basically do the same thing, but you do it better. So, for example, if you're a salesman, you find a way to sell more products. If you're a waiter, you find a way to serve more customers. If you're a freelancer, you find a way to deliver projects faster so that you can take on more projects. Working smart is basically finding a way to do what you're currently doing, but find a way to do it better. Find a way to do it more efficiently so that you can earn more money or you can work more. Work more hours, work more days so that you can earn more money. So let me ask you this. Would you rather make $100 a day and work less? Or would you rather make $1,000 a day and work more? Well, obviously, most people would say they would rather make $1,000 a day and work more. But the truth is, if you're working 168 hours every single week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you need to find a way to automate some of that work. You need to find a way to hire someone else to do some of that work for you so that you can free up your time. So what are the different types of income streams? Well, we have employment income. This is the income we receive from our job. It's the income we receive from our employer. Then we have business income. This is the income we receive from our own business. Then we have capital gains. Capital gains is the profit we make from investing in stocks, investing in bonds, investing in real estate. We also have dividends. Dividends is the money we receive from owning shares of a company. If you own 10 shares of Apple, for example, and Apple pays a dividend of $1 per share, you will receive $10 in dividends. Rental income. This is the income we receive from renting out property. So for example, if you buy a house for $300,000 and you rent it out for $2,000 a month, you will receive rental income of $24,000 a year. Royalty income. This is the income we receive from creations such as music, art, books. And lastly, we have interest income. Interest income is the income we receive from lending money. So for example, if you deposit $10,000 into a bank account that pays a 5% interest rate, you will receive $500 in interest income. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider liking this video. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching, and until next time.